Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day as always. Leaving a like, leaving a comment, or subscribing. All of these things do help out the channel immensely. You guessed it, I'm still away. I'll be home in about a couple of days. But I was like, there's tons more news. I've been gone for like 3 or 4 weeks now. I'm finally, not that you need to know all this, I'm finally back in a place that has like super stable internet. I've been on a couple of islands and all over the place, and lo and behold, I just assumed many places had proper, quick, fast speed internet, and they do not. But I'm in a place that actually does have high speed internet. So of course, you hear that I don't have my normal microphone. Hopefully the one from the computer suffices. It should. I listened to it before. It sounds swell. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into it. I am always never unsurprised at how much takes place within this market in such a short period of time. Alrighty, because the news going on is always newsy. The crypto market appears to be at its lowest for 2022 when the bear seems to never end. That's not English. However, JP Morgan's Nikolaos Panigritsoglu has claimed that the recent liquidity crisis in the cryptocurrency market may be coming to an end. You may have noticed, maybe like once or twice, that prices have been dropping. The information that we're getting now, I'm not sure if you've seen it on Reddit or on Twitter. It's like very popular. These charts are going around. A lot of people have mapped out and have figured out that we are on a literal same course to where we were, what is it, about 2 years ago, and then about 3 or 4 years before that, and then 3 or 4 years before that, and then 3 or 4 years before that. You know, the normal charts that people keep looking at, and it shows like the price is going up, the price is going down, but then you look at the comparative charts every 3 to 4 years, and we like match it perfectly for some reason. It's like the exact same movements over and over. It appears now, especially if you're looking on the ones on almost at Instagram, what's it called? On Twitter. We are basically, it appears at the end, it looks like we are going to move up a tiny bit more. There's going to be a movement back down, but they will be within the same channel. And I think according to these charts, within the next 2 months or so, should then begin the movement upward, as historically we tend to see about a year and a half before the next Bitcoin halving historically is when prices move back up. And then usually after the halving has taken place, that's when we end up hitting the new all-time high. But alas, several JP Morgan financial strategists believe that the current bear market has reached an advanced stage and will end soon. Bloomberg quoted a note written by JP Morgan strategists, including Nikolaos Panigritsoglu. It stated that the recent downturn in the cryptocurrency market is a manifestation of the deleveraging process. It appears that a lot of people who over-leverage their positions have been liquidated, wiped out, pushed out of the market. I'm not sure exactly why this is continuously a thing. I don't know the bigger picture in all of this, but a lot of the big wigs, the higher ups in the cryptocurrency space seem to have a thing where as the market begins to fall down, they make sure to liquidate anyone who has a leveraged position, you know, the 10x, the 20x, the 100x. I'm pretty sure you're seeing the articles floating around. I lost 4.4 million, not me, $4.4 million in the cryptocurrency market because of my over leveraged position. And people write these really sad stories. First of all, don't bet in general, but don't do it with money that you cannot afford to lose. That is a common theme that we will be going over in the cryptocurrency space. But usually mathematically, chartologically, we can kind of tell when the market seems to be at the actual bottom. There are also a lot of indications right now. Geez, my suntan. There's also a lot of indications right now that the stock market may as well potentially start to pick back up again, simply because we know when the Fed is talking about planning on raising interest rates even further. But then once that is kind of done, that appears to be for the time being as much as they plan on doing when it comes to raising interest rates, and therefore everyone's expecting all the markets to kind of pump back up again. It says the good news is that the current crypto deleveraging cycle will not last long. They said the current cycle is no longer sustainable as crypto entities with stronger balance sheets are now entering. The whales are buying is basically what it comes down to. We see that all the time. Whales are constantly buying in general, but a lot of times new people who got into the market, which is something that we've also gone over before, the whales can see when new people enter the markets. There are charts for these things. They may not know explicitly who you are, but they can look at a chart and see that 3 months into a bull market, all these different wallets came to life, started putting Bitcoin inside of it. They know exactly how much you paid for your Bitcoin and realistically how much at what point you're willing to sell. If Bitcoin goes below a certain point, many people who are new to the market, who don't understand the actual 100 plus year long-term perspective for this market, they tend to get weary, they get shaky, the tree shakes or the apple falls or whatever. They sell their positions and these coins are always gobbled up by whales. It's the same loop over and over and over. What ends up happening is the people who sold before see that the market is going back up. They end up buying it at a higher price and they then refuse to sell once again at the even lower price than it was before. So a lot of this, we've been oversold for a while. It's just coupled with the Fed's movements, the mega recession, the printing of money, the situation happening in Europe, and the destruction of fiat currencies all around the world. We are in a very particular economic situation where things are so uncertain that we kind of just got swept up in all of it. According to JP Morgan strategists, venture capital financing remained strong between May and June. For example, FTX has extended credit to cryptocurrency firms. The exchange is also in the process of acquiring some businesses. Analysts at JP Morgan are bullish on the cryptocurrency market. Meanwhile, Deutsche Bank analysts are more rational. They predicted that Bitcoin's price will recover about 30% from where it currently is to end the year around $28,000. I think that seems, in my view, realistically low. I think that a lot of these banks are bullish, my opinion. I think that they are very bullish on crypto, but you don't want to be the bank who's talked crap about crypto for the last 10 years, who goes, Bitcoin's going to 90,000 this year. You can't go too far, because if Bitcoin goes to 52,000, well, that bank ends up looking ridiculous. If Bitcoin goes to 32,000, they can say, well, 28,000 definitely came true. I think once any news from or about the Federal Reserve ends up being knocked to the side, we continue seeing fiat currencies being devalued. When we see another 2020 scenario where everyone's desperate to try and make some type of extra money, they're looking for new places to make profit, I think markets around the world will begin to go back up. I think it's going to be the stock market, and then right on its heels is going to be the cryptocurrency market. And then from there, the art market hasn't really suffered per se, but then I think the NFT market is going to come back with a bang. If for those of you who don't keep track of NFTs, they're still around, they're gaining ground. A lot of the regulations are actually being pushed out right now to regulate a lot of the NFT space, basically blanketing them with rules and regulations from the art world, which there aren't many. So yeah, a lot of people are quite optimistic on the future of the space. At no point have I felt, I hate the term, but bearish? No, never. It's, if the last 4 cycles had all been dramatically different than this one, I would have been like, okay, something's wrong. If Bitcoin had fallen down to $1,300, I would have, emptied my bank account, but I also would have been like, something maybe is up. No, the charts look exactly the same. The same fear index has been there. The same amount of people who got in have left the market. The amount of people who've always been buying are still buying up more. We're still getting calls for this $500,000 Bitcoin by 2024, the next halving, and all that other stuff. So I'm just as optimistic as ever. I think the only real problem I have now is kind of where to put my money. And I mean that as far as I always make sure to get some of the top coins. I believe these will be the creme de la creme of the space, but during every bear market, every single one, there's always something lurking in the background that a lot of people don't pay attention to, that when we have the full swing of the bull market, For some reason, that one did 178,000x. I'm looking at you, Dogecoin and Shiba Inu and all the other Bored Ape Yacht Club and all these other things. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's during the downtime that all these purchases end up happening. And then eventually during the actual bull market, everyone's like, oh, I wish I had bought some of those things. So I'm kind of scouring everything always to try and figure out what those things are. Because this market, I don't think, is done anywhere near. I think there's a lot of money to be made, especially if we're talking about a Cardano upgrade, the finally Ethereum upgrade. It's revving up normally in price to get to the next Bitcoin halving. $500,000 Bitcoin, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 Ethereum. The rest of the market will drag up with this. So anyway, that's the analysts are expecting a price rebound. I give it about a month or two. I would say don't hold your breath to anything immediate. If you've been looking for a time to get into the market, it may be time for you to reflect on the charts and make sure that you are not putting any money into the market that you cannot afford to lose. That is, as always, imperative. Yeah? Let's move on. Next up, a leading decentralized exchange has offered U.S. residents the opportunity to directly purchase XRP. Leading decentralized exchange, I think it's called On XRP, I think that's the literal name of the exchange, has announced that U.S. citizens can now purchase XRP directly from the platform. According to an announcement made by the trading platform, people residing in the United States and various parts of the world can purchase XRP using their credit cards and Apple Pay. The initiative will enable U.S. residents, except those living in New York and Hawaii, I don't know why it's always those two places, to directly purchase the 7th largest cryptocurrency by market cap. Yeah, that's their name. On XRP noted in a statement that the ability to offer direct purchases on its platform was made possible after it integrated Banxa's Banxa's fiat on-ramp solution. They said, we present to you our fiat on-ramp powered by Banxa official that can be found under cash on our DEX or directly at that website. Global and U.S. citizens, everyone around the world, young and old, please come over here, except if you are from New York and Hawaii. Please exit the building to the left. You cannot be inside here. Can now buy XRP easily using credit cards and Apple Pay. On XRP stated. Anyone find the irony in the decentralized exchange? Everyone can do it but New York and Hawaii. Nobody found that ironic because it's decentralized and therefore it doesn't have a... Anyway, so yeah, cool. This was kind of, I don't want to say major news. News like this always ends up floating around. It's kind of like a new exchange has allowed for X coin to be able to be purchased on their platform. That ends up becoming very popular news. It happens sometimes if someone's doing it for Solana or Aave or any other coin. I myself have never heard of On XRP. I think that might be the funniest name in the entire world, simply because if you know the history, a lot of times in the crypto space, if something happens with Ripple / and or XRP or / someone's like, hey, this is going to be built using the XRP ledger, the first question that people used to always ask was, is it on XRP? So now we know that, it's because that's the name of it. Anyway, that's the decentralized exchange On XRP, not affiliated, has allowed people from around the world except for 2 places, both within the United States. I don't get it. To be able to purchase XRP through their platform with credit card and Apple Pay. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news is Reddit, a social discussion platform, I wouldn't call it that, unveiled collectible avatars supported by blockchain that will soon be purchased on? Oh, that will soon be purchased on the platform on Thursday. I was like, okay. These avatars were produced in collaboration with many artists and come along with complete user rights. They will be sold through the Reddit avatar builder. A lot of you might remember a year and some change ago, one of the really big things was NFTs. NFTs began to pop up all over the place. And Reddit was one of the places, I believe, who announced that they were going to incorporate or integrate NFTs onto their platform. A lot of people were very annoyed, very upset that they were doing this. How could you? We don't want NFTs, that whole shebang. But as time has passed on, and I think the word NFT has become quite normalized, and a lot of people have been purchasing NFTs, a portion of the hate has kind of dissipated. And a lot of the companies who announced before that they were launching NFTs or something blockchain related stopped talking about it for a while. But as the anger has subsided, they're all coming back and being like, hey, now we're going to launch it because no one's paying attention. To make it simple for users to create and edit their unique avatars on the site, Reddit released its own avatar builder in 2020. See? With collective avatars built on blockchain technology, Reddit is now elevating this function to a new level. As a result, each image has a special license that is granted to the purchaser. They're doing everything they can to make sure that they do not use the letters NFT. Something that's unique and exclusive, only on the platform, on blockchain. The collectible avatars from Reddit will be on top of Polygon, which is smart, a blockchain network that works with Ethereum that has excessively low transaction fees, which is super great, and sustainability promises. The new collection will be accessible on the website where Reddit users typically create their avatars. A collectible avatar can be used on Reddit as an avatar after being purchased. They said shortly thereafter, we make countless accessories, outfits, and hairstyles available to allow for more expression. We also bought Redditors custom avatars in collaboration with Netflix, Riot Games, and Australian Football League, the AFL. So nothing too exciting per se, but this is definitely and not even a long time coming. Everyone's still rolling these things out. I'm not sure if you heard, was it Bookface? I think it was Bookface. Bookface just also released their oh gosh, what do you call it? Their NFT integration onto Instagram and stuff like that. So everyone's going to be doing it. I think the idea of, I told you all before, about 10, I give it 12 years ago. If someone had told you that you'd be using or collecting numbers on a screen, digital currencies, you would have laughed at them. It made no sense to you. But now that you own and buy cryptocurrencies probably quite often, it makes sense. 2 years ago, the idea of owning digital artwork, something that is on the blockchain that represents a fraction of something or a unique portion of something, also didn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people. But now as people continue to buy one, get gifted one, what have you, it makes a lot more sense. I think in the future, everyone will simply have a digital version of nearly everything, and it'll just simply be kind of normal. I don't see it not being normal, if you will. Yeah, that's the Reddit soon to have purchasable avatars. It's also kind of this really weird last thought. You know Pokemon cards. Now imagine I can transport you back to 1998. How many Pokemon cards would you buy? You know, tons. You buy as many sealed products as you can. A lot of these things I am interested to see which NFTs will be the Pokemon cards or the Magic the Gathering cards of the future, kind of like in 10, 15 years, like who's going to be like, oh my gosh, I wish I could go back to 2020 and buy that, you know, it's worth so much money that you have one. That's crazy. You know, this kind of, because it's going to happen. If crypto makes it, if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, 1.5, $2.5 million, NFTs are going to make it as well. It's just part of the way that things go. But who's going to be holding those NFTs like the original first wave of Reddit NFTs or avatars? How much will those be worth in the future? I always find these things fascinating. Yeah, that's the Reddit news. Let's moving on. Right? I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I hope you're all doing well. I was going to say I miss all of you. I don't see you normally on a daily basis, but you understand what I mean. It's kind of weird. to be away from the channel for so long. I kept my promise that I made as many videos as I possibly could to make sure that you always had something to view while I was away. Yeah, I do hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, and or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.